You've probably seen all those test clips 5 to 8 seconds long. They are meant to show what AI can do. But I wanted to tell a real story. One that keeps you watching for minutes. And that's exactly what I did with Kling. Let me briefly show you the development of the AI video platform Kling in a few scenes. I took an image and animated it with all previous models, from Kling 1.0 to Kling 2.1. You can see the results here. The output is significantly stronger, especially with the two newer Kling models, which will certainly excite many users. I'll show you more about this in a Kling internal comparison later in this tutorial. Veo 3 from Google has set the bar, and Kling 2.1 Master has followed suit immediately. However, Veo 3 presents users with more or less significant hurdles. Let me talk about the price. It's currently reduced to just under $125, but $250 per month. Or what about availability? How many videos can or are you allowed to create? Or what about access? In other words, where in the world can you use this platform without major barriers? Kling makes it much easier for its users. Just go to klingai.com, sign up, choose a plan, and you're ready to go. Admittedly, the integration of sound into the videos and the very lifelike realization in Veo 3 based on a single prompt are very unique. You can't argue with that. But Kling also has a lot to offer in terms of video quality. By the way, I use the Pro plan with Kling. It costs about $300 a year. For that, I get 3,000 credits per month, and every time I log in, I get another 66 credits per day. Actually, that's very fair. You can do a lot with that. For my last project, a music video about a lost rubber duck, I used not only Kling, but a whole host of different AI platforms to achieve the maximum possible. These include ChatGPT, Midjourney, Suno, and ElevenLabs. If you know how to pull the right levers, you can expect very appealing results here as well. By the way, if you want to watch my AI music video, Thrown Away, just click on the link in the description or on the reference video at the end. Now let me show you how I created the whole thing. The first step, and this would certainly also be the case with Veo 3, is to come up with a concept. In other words, you should have a clear idea of what you want to show, rather than just making a series of test films. Who better to help with this than ChatGPT? I briefly defined the framework of my plot there, and then asked for appropriate prompts for Midjourney. What you see here are the individual scenes I described. Just think creatively. ChatGPT took on this task and wrote a single prompt for each scene. I then copied the prompts and created these images using Midjourney. On the far right, you can see that this is the original prompt from ChatGPT. The motifs we see here once again impress with the proven and magnificent Midjourney aesthetic. But here too, the AI platform stumbles when it comes to adhering to certain characteristics. In my example, it was supposed to be a 1980s home video style. If we take a closer look at the results, for example, at this image here, we see that the overall impression is quite modern and razor sharp. But that's not what I wanted. A quick insider tip at this point: to get a consistent rubber duck in the images, I first created a corresponding toy and then inserted it as an Omni reference with Omni weight 50. This way, you can motivate Midjourney to always add a roughly identical figure to the image. Creating an AI video is always a team effort. Since Midjourney is not quite up to the task here, the next step is where ChatGPT comes into its own again. Why? I can explain this very well using the tornado example. I simply upload this image to ChatGPT and ask it to convert the look and feel to the 1980s home video style I wanted. That's the great thing about ChatGPT. This image is then converted into this one. I deliberately wanted the image quality to be poorer. As you can imagine, the image quality of a video cassette was significantly worse. That's exactly what I need for my video project. Very impressive. With the finely tuned individual sequences, the next step was to bring the images to life with versions 1.6, 2.0 master, and 2.1 master. Simply upload an image at the top and copy a prompt into the box below. Then use a model of your choice. Kling offers various options for this. The 2.1 standard model costs 35 credits for 5 seconds, while 2.1 Master costs 100 credits. If you want to use an older model, for example 1.6, that's also possible. In that case, you only pay 35 credits for 5 seconds. Here is a direct comparison. You can see version 1.6 at the top left, version 2.0 at the top right, and version 2.1 at the bottom left. Although the results with the latest 2.1 Master model are better in many respects, the older models also have their merits. Sometimes Kling stumbles a bit, as we can see in this example with the tornado. Once all the videos fit, the next step follows, creating and fine-tuning the music. With Suno, music is an important part of any film. If you have, let me put it this way, a little man sitting inside your ear who wants a specific style of music, then you can quickly get lost in Suno. Let me show you a few examples. How about this style?
Left on the sink where silence grew, faded light and nothing new, dreams outside that never stayed, a swing that moved and slipped away, but I was golden for a while.
Or how do you like the sound of a special musical instrument? An Armenian duduk.
Left on the sink where silence grew, faded light and nothing new, dreams outside that never stayed, a swing that moved then slipped away.
Since the theme of the video is a bit more thoughtful, I tried this.
Left on the sink where silence grew.
If you compare all 3 songs and arrange them correctly, the last result fits best. Once the music is ready, simply go to the ElevenLabs website. There you have the option of creating special sound effects. Click on Sound Effects in the navigation bar on the left and enter, for example, Super 8 Movie Projector in the prompt bar at the bottom. That was exactly what I needed, a film projector that starts to rattle. With VO3, you can create 8-second films. With Kling, you can choose between 5 and 10 seconds. If, like me, you want a film that is over 3 minutes long, there is no way around editing the film afterwards. For this, I use Premiere Pro and After Effects, and effects that can be purchased from Envato. My conclusion, VO3 is really great, but Kling is also very strong. I hope the platform operator will soon come up with a similar solution. Users expect simplicity, speed, availability, and a reasonable price. Kling definitely has the potential for all of that. But now to my finished project about a little duckling in search of lost happiness. Just click on the video that is now displayed or the link in the description. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening. See you soon. Your channel, AI, Now You Know.